Layla Al-Mansour, a glamorous Dubai housewife trapped in a loveless marriage, and Sheikh Rashid, a powerful and mysterious figure, shared a secret affair that promised escape but delivered deadly consequences. When their forbidden passion collided with the ruthless ambitions of Faisal Al-Mansour, Layla's husband, the glittering world of Dubai's elite turned into a dangerous battlefield, one where love, power, and betrayal would lead to a shocking and fatal end. Layla Al-Mansour lived a life many would envy. Her days were filled with luxury. From the stunning views of Dubai's skyline seen through the floor-to-ceiling windows of her lavish villa, to the designer dresses that filled her walk-in closets. She moved in circles where power and wealth were as common as the desert's sun. Yet beneath the sparkling surface, Layla felt trapped and alone. Her marriage to Faisal Al-Mansour, a man whose family held immense influence in Dubai's business and political spheres, was a carefully arranged alliance rather than a bond built on love. Faisal was a man of few words, his attention focused on expanding the family empire. He was demanding and distant, treating Layla more like a prized possession than a partner. While she enjoyed the privileges of her status, Layla's heart longed for connection and excitement, things her husband was unwilling or unable to provide. Days and nights blended into a lonely routine, punctuated only by lavish dinners and social events where she was expected to smile and maintain the perfect image. The city itself was a place of contrasts, ultra-modern skyscrapers rising beside ancient traditions, a playground for the ultra-rich, yet a world governed by strict rules and codes of conduct. In this environment, Layla's unhappiness was a secret she buried deep. No one in her social circle suspected the storm brewing behind her serene smile. Everything changed the night she met Sheikh Rashid. He was unlike anyone Layla had ever encountered. Charismatic and confident, he carried an aura of power and mystery that both intrigued and unsettled her. Rashid was a man of great wealth and influence, known for his business ventures across the Middle East and his connections with political leaders. His reputation was complex, admired by some, feared by others. Their first meeting was at an exclusive charity gala. Layla found herself drawn to Rashid's magnetic presence, and over the course of the evening, their brief conversations sparked a connection neither expected. In a world where appearances were everything, this encounter felt like a breath of fresh air, a chance for Layla to escape her gilded cage, if only for a moment. As the weeks passed, Layla and Rashid's paths crossed more frequently. What began as discreet meetings quickly turned into a secret and passionate affair. They shared stolen moments in hidden corners of the city, their relationship growing behind closed doors. Rashid's world was thrilling and dangerous, far removed from the safe but cold life Layla knew with Faisal. He treated her not as a trophy, but as an equal, someone who could understand his own struggles beneath the surface of wealth and power. However, this new relationship came with risks. Dubai's elite society was small and tightly knit. Gossip traveled fast, and any scandal could ruin reputations. Layla knew the stakes were high, but the allure of love and freedom was intoxicating. With each secret meeting, she drifted further away from the life she had once accepted as normal. Despite the passion and excitement, Layla's conscience wrestled with fear. The powerful people connected to Rashid were not just business rivals. They were dangerous. Her affair was no longer just a private escape. It was a gamble with forces far bigger than herself. And in the shadows of this glittering city, where power played out behind closed doors, Layla's life was about to change forever. As Layla's secret affair with Sheikh Rashid deepened, the invisible walls around her life began to close in. What once felt like a thrilling escape now carried an ever-growing weight of danger. The luxurious world she inhabited was not just glitter and glam. It was a place where every whispered word could lead to devastating consequences. Rumors started to circulate quietly at first. Subtle glances exchanged at social gatherings. Hushed conversations behind closed doors. In Dubai's tightly woven elite circles, no secret stayed hidden for long. Faisal's suspicions grew stronger with each passing day. He noticed Layla's distracted behavior, the sudden unexplained absences, the faint scent of unfamiliar perfume. Though he remained outwardly calm and composed, inside a storm of anger and betrayal raged. Faisal was not a man to be underestimated. Behind his cold, businesslike demeanor was a ruthless mind, trained to protect his family's power and reputation at any cost. He began to quietly gather information, employing private investigators and trusted aides to watch Layla's movements. Meanwhile, the risks surrounding Rashid were becoming clearer. His life was anything but simple. As a sheikh with considerable influence, he had powerful enemies, rivals in business, politics, and even within his own extended family. These foes had little tolerance for those who crossed them or disrupted the delicate balance of power. Layla was unknowingly stepping into a dangerous game where alliances shifted like desert sands, and betrayal could be deadly. One evening, Layla began receiving anonymous warnings, mysterious phone calls with no voice on the other end, notes slipped under her door, and unmarked cars lingering near her home. The messages were clear: end the affair or face dire consequences. Fear tightened its grip on her heart, but the pull of Rashid and the hope of a different life kept her going. She was caught between desire and danger, unsure of which path to take. Faisal's investigation soon uncovered pieces of the puzzle. The private detectives reported secret meetings and intercepted communications, but Faisal was careful not to confront Layla outright. He knew that would risk exposing their family's vulnerabilities. Instead, he began to tighten his control in more subtle ways, monitoring her every move and surrounding himself with loyal allies, prepared to do whatever was necessary to protect his name. The tension in Layla's life became unbearable. The glamorous events she once enjoyed felt like traps, each glance from acquaintances filled with silent judgment. Rashid, too, became more cautious, aware that their relationship had placed them both in the crosshairs of powerful enemies. Yet, their bond remained strong, fueled by passion and a shared sense of danger. Behind the scenes, the city's glittering surface hid a growing storm. Powerful figures whispered warnings to Rashid, while Faisal's circle plotted ways to end the threat Layla represented. The glamorous facade of wealth and influence could not shield Layla from the harsh realities closing in. In this web of secrets and suspicion, Layla was trapped, torn between loyalty, love, and survival. Each day brought new challenges, and the consequences of her choices loomed ever larger. What started as an escape had turned into a perilous game where every move could mean the difference between life and death. And in the heart of Dubai's elite world, no one was truly safe from the shadows that lurked behind the light. The sudden disappearance of Sheikh Rashid sent shockwaves through Dubai's elite circles. One moment, he was a powerful figure commanding respect and influence. The next, he vanished without a trace. The news spread quickly but quietly, spoken in cautious tones among the city's wealthy and powerful. No one knew where he had gone or why. Some whispered that he had fled the country, fearing for his life after mounting threats from dangerous enemies. Others suspected something more sinister, an enforced silence perhaps, or a carefully planned disappearance to avoid an even darker fate. For Layla, Rashid's absence was like a crushing weight. The man who had given her hope and passion was suddenly gone, leaving her stranded in a world that felt colder and more dangerous than ever. She was left alone with her fears and the growing suspicion that Faisal was closing in on her. Without Rashid's protection and presence, Layla became vulnerable to forces she barely understood but knew could destroy her. Faisal's vigilance intensified. He had been watching Layla closely for weeks, but Rashid's disappearance gave him new confidence. With his rival out of the picture, Faisal tightened his grip on Layla's life. Private security monitored her. Every movement and trusted aides reported back on her contacts and activities. Layla's once private world became a prison of suspicion and surveillance. Meanwhile, rumors swirled about Rashid's fate. Some claimed he was hiding in a remote location, planning a bold return to expose the secrets and betrayals that surrounded him. Others said he had been captured or worse, eliminated by enemies determined to end his influence for good. The mystery deepened with no clear answers, leaving Layla caught between hope and despair. As the days stretched into weeks, Layla struggled to maintain the facade expected of her. She attended social events and fulfilled her duties as Faisal's wife, but inside, the fear gnawed at her constantly. She knew that without Rashid, she was exposed to Faisal's growing wrath. The man who once seemed distant now appeared more dangerous than ever, his patience worn thin by jealousy and humiliation. In secret, Layla tried to reach out to Rashid, but every attempt failed. His communications were cut off, and his trusted contacts remained silent. It became clear that whatever power Rashid once held was slipping away, and Layla was left to face the consequences alone. The tension in Dubai's elite circles grew. Faisal's family moved swiftly to contain the situation, fearing scandal and loss of status. Loyalties shifted, alliances broke, and old friends turned into enemies overnight. The disappearance of Sheikh Rashid was not just a personal tragedy. It was a signal of deeper turmoil beneath the city's glittering surface. Layla's isolation deepened. Without Rashid, she was vulnerable to the full force of Faisal's control. Her dreams of freedom and happiness seemed further away than ever. The luxury that once surrounded her felt suffocating, a gilded cage from which there was no escape. In this dangerous new reality, every decision Layla made was a risk. The stakes were higher than ever, and the line between safety and disaster grew thinner by the day. The mystery of Rashid's disappearance was only the beginning, and Layla's life was about to take an even darker turn. The news of Layla's death sent shockwaves through Dubai's elite society. Found lifeless in the grand villa she once called home. Her passing was initially reported as a tragic suicide. The scene was carefully arranged, an empty glass of wine on the table, a faint scent of perfume lingering in the air, and no signs of forced entry. It seemed to fit the narrative of a woman overwhelmed by secrets and despair. But beneath the polished surface, something didn't feel right to those who looked closer. The investigators arrived swiftly, a team of skilled professionals determined to uncover the truth. From the start, they noticed details that didn't add up. There was no suicide note, no clear explanation for her final act. More troubling were the marks on her wrists and bruises on her body, signs of a struggle that clashed with the peaceful image the scene was meant to convey. Slowly, a darker picture began to emerge. The opulent villa, once a symbol of wealth and comfort, now became a crime scene. Detectives scoured every corner for clues, piecing together Layla's final hours. Surveillance footage was examined, phone records analyzed, and witnesses interviewed. What they uncovered was a story of betrayal and violence hidden beneath layers of privilege and power. Faisal al-Mansour, Layla's husband, quickly became a person of interest. His cold demeanor and strained relationship with Layla were well known, but investigators now suspected there was far more behind the facade. Faisal's movements and actions were scrutinized, revealing inconsistencies and suspicious behavior. He had motive, protecting his family's honor and shielding his empire from scandal, and the means to orchestrate something as sinister as murder. Further investigation revealed that Layla's affair with Sheikh Rashid was more than just a scandal. It was a threat to Faisal's carefully constructed world. The Sheikh's sudden disappearance added to the mystery, suggesting a web of secrets involving multiple powerful players. Those who once seemed untouchable were now vulnerable, their hidden rivalries and grudges exposed. The city buzzed with speculation. Friends and acquaintances who once admired Layla now questioned everything about her life and death. The glamorous parties and perfect photos on social media seemed like a distant illusion, replaced by a chilling reality of danger and deceit. One of the biggest surprises came when a close associate of Faisal was arrested for aiding in Layla's death. This revelation cracked open the carefully sealed walls surrounding the family, exposing a network of loyalty and betrayal. The accomplice's arrest confirmed that Layla's murder was not a crime of passion, but a calculated act to silence her and protect powerful interests. As the investigation continued, whispers circulated that Sheikh Rashid might still be alive, hidden somewhere, waiting to reveal the truth. This possibility threatened to upend everything, keeping the tension high and the outcome uncertain. Layla's death marked a turning point, a grim reminder that beneath Dubai's dazzling exterior lay a world where love, power, and greed collided with deadly consequences. The case would haunt the city for years, a tragic story of a woman caught between two powerful men and the dangerous secrets they fought to keep buried. The courtroom was filled with tension as the trial began, drawing the attention of Dubai's elite and the wider public. Layla's murder had exposed a dark underbelly beneath the city's glossy surface, a world where power, wealth, and betrayal intertwined in deadly ways. The case became a gripping drama that held everyone captive, eager to learn the truth behind the glamorous facade. Faisal al-Mansour stood at the center of the storm. The evidence against him was mounting, painting a picture of a man willing to go to extreme lengths to protect his family's honor and reputation. Investigators revealed how Faisal had orchestrated a plan to eliminate Layla, fearing that her affair with Sheikh Rashid threatened everything he had built. His cold and calculated moves, from surveillance to manipulation, showed a man consumed by jealousy and desperation. But Faisal did not act alone. The trial unveiled a network of betrayal within his inner circle. Trusted aides and family members were implicated, accused of helping Faisal carry out the deadly plan. One close confidant had been arrested for directly assisting in covering up the crime, betraying loyalty for fear or greed. This web of complicity shocked many, revealing just how deep the corruption ran. Meanwhile, rumors about Sheikh Rashid's fate continued to swirl. There were reports he had been hiding in a foreign country, gathering evidence to expose Faisal and the dark secrets of the al-Mansour family. His potential return loomed like a shadow over the trial, adding an unpredictable element that kept tensions high. Many wondered if Rashid would emerge as a witness or remain in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. The trial also brought to light the harsh realities faced by women in Dubai's high society. Layla's story became a symbol of the dangers hidden behind the luxury and status, highlighting issues of control, isolation, and the deadly consequences of defying powerful men. Her tragic fate sparked discussions about the limits placed on women and the risks involved in seeking freedom and love beyond strict social expectations. Public interest was intense, with media outlets covering every development. Yet, Much of the truth remained shrouded in secrecy as powerful forces worked behind the scenes to influence the outcome. The courtroom battles were fierce, filled with legal maneuvering and emotional testimony that revealed the complex and dangerous world Layla had lived in. In the end, the verdict sent shockwaves through Dubai. Faisal was found guilty of orchestrating Layla's murder, a decision that sent a message about justice and accountability, even for the wealthy and powerful. The accomplices faced their own sentences, unraveling the dark alliance that had tried to bury the truth. Layla's death, though tragic, became a catalyst for change, shining a harsh light on the hidden dangers of a society built on appearances and power. The story of the wealthy housewife and the powerful sheikh remained etched in the city's memory, a haunting reminder that in the world of luxury and influence, love can be as deadly as any weapon. Dubai would never look the same again.